Hello and welcome to Songs for the Struggling Artist, the blogcast. This is episode 403. My name is Emily Rainbow Davis. Thank you for listening. Today's blog is a little theatery. It's a little throwback to some theatery stuff, but also like time passing. You'll listen. You'll hear what it is. But it was inspired by watching a video of, actually several videos with video interviews with Jos Hoben, who is a Belgian theater artist, clown, comedy guy, who does an amazing show called The Art of Laughter, which I highly recommend if it ever comes to your town. He does it in both French and English, not at the same time. He does like a French show and an English show. And really go. If it comes to your place of residence or nearby you, go and see it. It's fantastic. So that who inspired this blog post, which is called Boxed Up Knowledge. The other night, I found myself watching an interview with a theater practitioner I admire a great deal. He's an amazing performer, director, teacher, and thoughtful analyst of his craft. I found myself taking notes, adding them to previous documents I'd created, filled with his tips and tricks. But as I was taking notes, full of enthusiasm and excitement, I felt an undercurrent of why? Why was I furiously writing down his clown exercises or his recipe for comic developments? I haven't put on a clown show since 2009. I haven't had need to exercise my physical comedy chops in ages. I know a fair amount about these things. I care about them. I still have curiosity about them. If any of my beloved teachers gave a workshop here, I'd sign up for it. But not because I have any use for it. I don't have a life for which any of this knowledge is necessary, which somehow makes me very sad. There's something about having spent decades growing my knowledge about things that I now never get a chance to exercise. It feels so wasteful somehow. This applies to my years of accumulated knowledge and experience in teaching Shakespeare as well. I quit doing this when it became clear that the people I worked for did not care about that accumulated, organized, and diverse knowledge. I valued it enough to refuse to be undervalued for it, but now that knowledge and experience just sits in me, quietly disintegrating. No one wants the book I started writing about it. No one comes asking for what I've got in my back pocket. It's just sitting there. It feels as though I spent my 20s and 30s furiously obtaining knowledge and skills that I now have rare occasion to use. I might call all that a waste of time, except for the fact that I still care about a lot of those things. Given the opportunity, I'd make use of any and all of them. It feels a little like a language I learned to speak in situ and then had rare opportunities to use again. However, there are 2 Italian women here next to me at the cafe where I'm writing, and I can eavesdrop if I work at it. But there's no accidental use of highly specific theater training. I may be able to make myself cry with a shift in breath and body, but I never have reason to do that out in the world. There are many theater skills that translate to the rest of the world beautifully. Many things I can do because of that grounding in the collaborative matrix of the performing arts. But I feel the loss of opportunity to exercise my other theatrical muscles, my other theatrical curiosity. 10 years ago, I was pretty sure I'd be back in these worlds before long. But as I've focused more on writing, on audio, on podcasting and music, I found myself further and further away from many of the things I used to spend so much time thinking about, experimenting with, wondering about. I suppose it is similar to my experience of Italian. I thought I'd find ways to return to using those language skills, but in the 30 years since I've been there, I've only had a handful of conversations. Was it a waste to learn it in the first place? Of course not. Going deep with that language changed my perspective, my personality, and my brain. The same is probably true of all that highly specific theater training. I might stumble upon someone speaking clown or viewpoints or rasa boxes or archetypes or chorus work or something else in a coffee shop and find I can eavesdrop if I work at it. And who knows where the next decade will take me. Maybe I'll find myself returning to some ideas and scenarios that I'd left behind. And I'll be glad I took those furious notes. So the picture for this blog post is of my teacher, John Wright, who I studied mask with and a bit of clown and a bit of other sort of physical theater stuff, clowny stuff, mask stuff, stuff in between, object stuff. Anyway, he's great. He's amazing. If you get an opportunity to take a workshop with John Wright, I highly recommend it. I pulled this picture from our class. So I'm in the picture. The back of my head is anyway. My fabulous haircut, whatever. Probably from, oh gosh, how many years ago? A long many year ago is how long ago it was. Anyway, so the picture is from our class, but I wanted to link to his work. So I did some searching on what is there a good website for him? Where should I link to? Blah, blah, blah. So I went to his website and discovered that he had written another book that I had no knowledge of whatsoever. So I had to get it, of course, even though I have no use for it at the moment. But I couldn't resist. I'm like, there's another John Wright book. I have to have it. So his first one was called Why Is That So Funny? And it's sort of an analysis of humor and comedy and how various structures work. And he wrote a second book more specifically about mask work and masks, which is the first thing I studied with him. And, he is an absolute expert on the subject. So, I got his book, which I figured even if I didn't have any use for right at the moment, I would at some point, perhaps, maybe. In any case, I was enjoying it. I'm enjoying thinking about that stuff, even if I am not putting on anything that has those elements yet. I am feeding the fire. We'll see what I put in there. Anyway, so this blog post led to a really fun, sweet discovery. So yes, and what song am I going to give you? Well, I thought, why don't I sing the song that I learned with John? So in one of the workshops, I don't remember which one, we did a bunch of singing of a song called Black Socks, which is a round. So I'm going to sing that for you at the end. Meanwhile, thank you so much for listening. If you like this blogcast, please tell someone about it. Like, review, subscribe in whatever podcast app you're in. If you feel like really going the extra mile, go over to Apple, give a bunch of 5-star ratings over there. That would be amazing. If you'd like to support this podcast, wow, amazing. Yes, please do. Patreon.com/Emily R. Davis is a prime spot, but there's also Ko-fi, there's PayPal, there's also Substack. You can do a paid subscription on Substack, and I think that's currently it. But if you have another place that you like to support people, please tell me about it, and I'll do my best to sign up. And mostly thank you for listening. It is really great to have your ears on this situation. So, Black Socks is a round. Harder to record a round with oneself than I anticipated. Took me a little longer than I expected. It is not so easy. But hopefully you will enjoy it. There are many versions of this song. It was when I Googled it a little bit, there were many like camp, people call it a camp song, like for summer camp. And there's lots of variation in melody, lots of variation in lyrics. But I think the essence remains the same. I don't know that I am 100% doing what I learned from John. I can't remember. It's been a little bit of time. This may be an adapted version. I don't know. We'll see. But I shall sing for you here now at the very end of this blogcast. A classic of summer camp literature. Apparently. Black socks. Black socks, they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, the stronger they get. Sometimes I think I should wash them, but something keeps telling me don't do it yet. Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Black socks, they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, the stronger they get. Sometimes I think I should wash them, but something keeps telling me don't do it yet. Not yet, not yet, not never get dirty. The longer you wear them, they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, the stronger they get. Sometimes I think I should wash them, but black socks, they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, the stronger they get. Sometimes they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, the stronger they get. Sometimes I think I should wash them, but something keeps telling me never get dirty. The longer you wear them, the stronger they get. Sometimes they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, the stronger they get. Sometimes I think I should wash them, but black socks, they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, the stronger they get. Sometimes they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, the stronger they get. Sometimes I think I should get them, but black socks, they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, the stronger they get. Sometimes they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, the stronger they get. Sometimes I think I should wash them, but something keeps telling me don't do it yet. Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet.